I gotta pull up my list.
You're Haitian, right?
Oh my God! You got world star hip hop on here.
Wait,
Gaga.
I'm about to do
Lady Gaga.
Just Gaga.
I'm about to do damage on world star.
The Minaj.
Oh well, we gotta get into world star hip hop when we get to that part because we gotta talk. Yes,
please do.
World Star Hip.
Yeah, world star hip. You forgot the hop.
Okay, well whatever. Y'all know what the fuck I was talking about.
I clean my teeth with fresh tongs.
I'm pretty fucking far from okay.
We taking music, we taking movies, we taking celebrities, we taking all these things that are in our faces all the time.
Well,
they have an influence on our youth in particular.
Okay. Keep going, I'm ready.
And there's influences, and I'm gonna name one in particular. Lil Wayne, right?
Yeah. Oh.
No, right?
What do you call him? B-Wizzle?
Weezy F baby.
Weezy.
please say the baby.
I will not say the baby. He raps and produces a message that can be taken a certain way by our youth. And they who rolling with Kenshi? You rolling with a girl?
Rolling with
I just feel like what he does is such a tragedy. Like they say, oh, you only live once, and
you only live once. That's the motto of the YOLO.
Stop it. Was that what the words
like
are?
her.
Anywho,
Like
basically,
YOLO.
he was wearing some
he's
bass awkward stuff in that video. But looking at the YouTube comments, people were basically defending him, saying, "Stop getting on." Oh, he's saying that you only live once. First off,
he's being autistic on
that there's a difference between being autistic and looking like a damn fool.
I don't see what the big deal is. I just feel like this is the same thing that every youth generation does. They had their rebellious people. Back in the day, it was heavy metal. Then it was NWA. It's always gonna be.
But I'm gonna say they aren't out there killing each other neither. Well, they weren't out there killing each other.
Hold on. I work in education, and tell me how it is hard for little 7th grade Johnny to remember his timetables, but he can remember every single Lil Wayne song in existence.
Something? I like Karen Hilson, and she is B.
Who said
I'm sorry, but every 2nd grade kid will get up and say, "My name is that whole thing," because you know I go to church, I do hymns. Now listen, that whole pretty rocking with the pretty girls and stuff, and I don't even know how to do ABC, and they don't change their drawers or nothing. But you know how to say don't hate me because I'm beautiful and stank it.
My biggest influence of today's youth is probably a lot of television and video games and stuff like that, and it should be the parents and it's not. And parenting's just different nowadays.
Music and TV.
Yeah, I would say the BET music videos. They really are. They really are heavy on the look. They're really heavy on the sex appeal. They're really heavy on a lot of that because you see it, and again, I'll keep on going back to it, but you see it a lot in the church world. Like you see what you would see in the video, like literally some random female would come to church in it. Or some random dude would think that it's okay to have your pants hanging off your tail in morning service. Don't get that either.
It's always that way.
But I told him to spill
But if you take, I
don't think that it was always that way though, because I mean, that wasn't my experience growing up. You know, in my experience growing up, I was doing the ABCs and the 1, 2, 3, 3s. But that was because the people that my parents had around me, that was their focus. Their focus was teaching me because they were trying to prepare me for a life that was beyond my current life. You know, but I think that a lot of people today they don't parent and they have, and I will say that today's music lacks substance. It really reflects on the mindset of today's youth because it's like there's nothing there. It's just nothing but a bunch of smokes and
smoke screens and whistles, and that's it.
And to piggyback on what he's saying, it's like with the parents, are they just popping out babies just for the hell of it and not trying to be responsible enough to parent the children? And are they allowing the BTs and the VH1s and the pop culture
There are four types of parents. In society today, we're seeing a lot more ghost parents and a lot more hell parents than you are seeing helicopter parents, which is pains in the ass. Because they're the parents that like to hover over their kid. Like every little thing you do, they're always in their kid's business. Whether little Johnny is at a bake sale or in class, they're always there, always in your face.
Well, wait a minute, because I know I was rough coming up. My kid, I'm gonna be in my kid's face, okay? Because my kid gonna be rude, so I'm gonna have to smack him every now he gets his little rude spurt. I'm sorry, so I'm gonna have to be that helicopter kid. You know, some people, they know their kids because how they used to be growing up. The other ones, like you said, ghost parents, they just know what they are. They just don't want to deal with it.
See, but does it have to be 1, 2, 3, or 4? Like, why can't it be, you know, sometimes I'm 1, sometimes I'm 3, sometimes I'm 4, sometimes I'm 1 and 3 at the same time. Like, it doesn't always, for me anyway, have to be an either or.
That species went out, and they're called now great-grandmothers.
Yeah. Yes. Music and whatever is hot at that moment. Or who is the person that is cool to hate right now?
I mean, I'm not saying to be rude, but that species already went out the door.
You living in a society where you got the most popular show on MTV is like Teen Mom and stuff like that.
Goodness. Right. And basketball wives.
It's just like,
don't you come for Housewives of Atlanta?
I do like that.
I said basketball wives.
But I was just like, it's just like the society is redefining. I mean, they're producing very shallow people. You live in a very shallow society, and then you have, you know, the media, which basically depicts you to be even more shallow.
Did you hear about that school in Memphis where the 90% of the girl population in middle school is pregnant? Damn.
How about this? I just gave my daughter, you know, for her 16th birthday, a coupon for her breast augmentation. I mean, there's a problem. There's a problem.
I don't think I want plastic at 16. That's
people don't have no value. They don't have no values.
They do have value, but the values are just fucked up. They have just fucked up value.
Hard and cold and plastic.
And do they even pay attention to the statistics as far as the STDs? Because I'm sure everybody here is, and I know Terrence is, well aware of the fact that this city is comparative to 5 African countries as far as the HIV rate.
Yeah, it's in the top 5. It's in the top 5. You got New York, you've got Washington D.C., you got Detroit, you've got Atlanta, and you got Chicago, and Baltimore's in like the top 10 or 5.
And is that an issue on influences from, you know, from what we see out there?
That issue should scare the females into not having unprotected sex.
I feel like
that's what I'm saying.
I'm not a person of
not just females though.
To me, the bottom line is good parent is good parent is good parent. Sometimes you gotta know your child. Like, there's some type of children that I could trust them sitting there. They could be playing Grand Theft Auto, Mortal Kombat. I know they're not gonna go out and try that stuff in real life. But then there's the kids that I do need to watch out for that need to be watching nothing but Sesame Street before they play Mario go jump on somebody's head.
15, so Mario and Sesame
I wasn't
Street.
even allowed to have a TV in my bedroom as a child.
Me neither.
Maddie said something that was interesting. He just said,
I went to bed at 8 o'clock.
What did you say? You said in general people should be aware of that stuff. Yeah, and the reason why I say that is because if you look at the context of what we're talking about in regards to pop culture, the funny thing about it is the kids and people will conform to things that really don't matter or shouldn't matter when they should deal with things that really do matter. I think that the biggest influence is the lack of us really understanding our own culture and our history. With all the advancements in technology that we have no excuse in not understanding our culture.
Here's an issue also. I don't know how it is in every school, but I know in my school, the people that are teaching this stuff are, in my opinion, not qualified to teach it. Because our health teachers were our gym teachers, and I'm sorry, you can teach somebody how to play dodgeball, but you're not going to school a child on what, like, protecting themselves against HIV and stuff like that.
But when you come to sexual education, you know you have to give permission slips for that stuff, right? Like, you just can't teach little Johnny about protected sex and everything, because some parents will throw a fit saying, you're teaching little Johnny about condoms, that's going to advocate him to go have sex. Well, just because
Johnny's probably doing it without it.
And also, I only had health class in 8th grade, and then again in my 11th grade for half of the year, for only 2 marking periods. So they don't put it in big evidence.
They don't cover that.
Right.
Because
Philly did.
See, but also school shouldn't be your first teacher either. Like it really shouldn't. Like even if my kids took a class about sex education, I would still tell them something else. Like because I don't trust the school, especially with something that's a life lesson. You know, that's for your whole life. I don't trust the school with something that personal and just that effective. The biggest influence, I think, are the parents. I think that the parents are the biggest influence. They always have been the biggest influence, and they always will be the biggest influence. But I think that, in this day and age, parents aren't parenting, and it's in part not totally all their fault. Because if you have a systematic history of parents not parenting, if you're for the last 3 to 4 generations, everyone's had kids at 16 years old, you don't know enough to teach a child at 16. You don't really have much to give. You have love, but it takes more than love to raise a child.
But my thing with this school is that they're going there to learn. And I don't think, school in general, I don't think teaches kids enough about real life.
Well, and school's not about learning. School's about, look, we just trying to get these test scores up. So you don't even really learn and really learn.
Hold on, when it comes to schools, it's not even about the test scores, because if certain test scores are lower, that means the school gets more money. And then on top of which, when I was in Coppin, I took human sexuality. And did you know that half the students that were in there, that was the first time they heard anything about sex. They had it, they'd done it lots of times, but that was the first time they actually learned anything about sex.
But see, I don't want to ever force my kid to learn anything just because I feel with their age. I hope to have a comfortable enough relationship with my child that they feel comfortable when they want to come to me and ask me about the birds and the bees before they go and do it.
But that stuff starts early. You gotta get that early.
You can't expect a child, because if they're not mature enough, they won't come to you.
If you don't start that early, and I mean at an early age, Chris Brown is gonna get to your child, and all they're gonna know is about sex and water guns and everything else that Chris Brown sings about.
It's all about exposure.
Because it's getting late.
I mean, as much as you can blame the media and you can blame the people they go to school with, you are responsible for what your child is exposed to. So therefore, you have to be able to set a guideline and make sure that your child adheres to the guideline, and therefore don't let. When you make them adhere to the guideline, you don't have to worry about, what's going out in society. But make sure your child's informed, but make sure you set a standard too.
So, go ahead, Sayvion.
I've noticed that a lot of stuff, like if you really pay attention, if you see a child, just look at the parent. And truth be told, the way that the parent is exactly how the child is, and that's mostly because the child is too overexposed.
But that's not always true, because I've gone to private schools my whole life, and I've seen some fucking really rotten ass people in private schools come from great ass homes, Bentleys, Jaguars, everything, fucking rotten ass people. So your parents could. I'm sorry. That could be the case, but it's just Sam. But you can still have very decent parents and still be an asshole. Still come out to be a killer. Which the Menendez brothers. They're crazy.
Oh yeah, they killed.
They're sociopaths. They're sociopaths.
Yeah, they killed their parents they killed their parents for their insurance money, and they were rich already, but they wanted more money. They were like, okay, we're millionaires, we want to be billionaires. So mom, pop, dad, pop.
It's
no, that's not exciting. That's just fucking stupid.
I saw 2 dudes fucking a girl while they were dancing in her pussy. No joke, taking turns.
Why is that what influences us? How is that?
You know why? Because you're all fucking monkeys. You're all dirty fucking monkeys. And that's the reason why we're so excited, okay?
Thank you for supporting us.
That's basically all.
Oh, he was real good at it.
But see, unlike everybody else, they were smart enough to let you know before every episode. Do not try any of this at home.
He said the same thing too, but it don't stop kids from breaking their legs.